Hi guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making quick and easy mushroom burgers with sauce. So you'll see, it's so good. Super simple. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my ground meat and there's about a little over a pound. So it's just me and my husband, so I don't need to make much, but he does eat them a day after because they're really good. So you're gonna need 2 eggs. So crack them up. And never crack them in your food, because if you get shells in there, it becomes a pain in the butt. You have to try to get them out, especially if you're doing like baking pastries, stuff like that. So what I do is I do 2 eggs, some breadcrumbs, and I have a cup here, but probably half a cup is what I'm going to use. There's a tablespoon of coarse pepper, black pepper, and I just I'm going to put probably half in, and then if I think it needs more, I do it by sight. So, and then about a half a tablespoon of salt. I use Himalayan salt. You can use whatever you want. Garlic powder, half a tablespoon of garlic powder, and about 3/4 of a tablespoon of onion powder. So that'll get us started. So then we are going to mix this up really well. This is how I do it. And make sure your hands are clean, please. You don't want nasty hands and stuff people are gonna eat. It just depends. You can add or delete anything that I'm doing. Some people don't like breadcrumbs in their hamburgers. I've seen people use oats, stuff like that, which are really good. I've tried that with stuffed peppers. Oh, was it good? But mix it up really well, and you can add or delete any of the seasonings I'm using. You can add different seasonings. It's all just what you like, you know? But this is just how I make my hamburgers. Okay, so once I get that in, and I wash my hands. Okay, so if you're doing it in a cast iron skillet like me, you want to get that baby hot before you add anything. So I put it on medium to high heat for at least 3 to 4 minutes to heat it up. And I use olive oil. You can use butter. Some people like their burgers in butter, but I prefer olive oil. So that's just me. So now I didn't have Worcestershire, and I can never say that name. So you can use Worcestershire sauce. You can laugh because I can't say that word. But I didn't realize I was out, so I'm just going to use a little bit of steak sauce. It gives it just a better flavor. And the type of ground meat I'm using is 80/20. Higher fat content I like for hamburgers. It just makes them taste better. And then I use a little bit of liquid smoke, and this gives it such a great flavor. Just like about 6 drops. You don't need much of this stuff. It goes a long way. A little dab will do ya. So we're gonna make our hamburgers first, and then we're going to make the sauce. And you'll see how I do that. Because you wanna cook that sauce in the hamburger grease. And it's just so good. I can't express how good it is. And a lot of times I'll make extra sauce just so that we can have it on like rice or something with our hamburgers, or you could even put it on French fries. So whatever floats your boat. So So just make sure it's nice and mixed in. Okay. And while that's heating, make our patties and get them ready. So my husband likes his really thin. I like mine thick. So, you know, it just depends on how you like your burgers, is all. Do you like them like McDonald's, or do you like them like a cowboy would make them? So we're getting there. So about 1.25 pounds of ground meat, I get 5 burgers. But then again, mine are all made different sizes because of my preference and his preference. So. And it's all what you like. Okay, so we're ready. We're steaming. Okay, so we're going to cook these 3 to 4 minutes each side, depending on how well done you want them. I start to move them around a little wee bit just so they don't stick. This cast iron, it can become a problem, but I love my cast iron. And let them cook. Okay, it's been 4 minutes. Flip them. Just how I like them. Turn the heat down a little bit. So I'm on like a low medium low, however you want to say it, and then it'll cook just perfect. You'll see. Look at all that beautiful grease in there. And I go to a farm for my meat. I do want to mention that I do like mine more like I'm camping and cooking them on a fire. That's just how we like them. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but that's how I like them. So that's why I cook them medium high heat it the first couple minutes, and then I lower it. So those are done. And take them out. Okay, so now we are going to add about 1/2 cup of onions. And I cook these up really good. You can dice these if you want to, but I like them like that. So you will cook those up in that grease. So my heat is on medium low because I want it to cook a little slower. And you'll see, because of the sauce and stuff, if your heat's too high, it will ruin your sauce. So then I'm going to add a clove of garlic, and I just kind of cut it up into little pieces in there. I just like those little slithers. It tastes so good. And yes, I grew this garlic and the onions. I try to be as self-sufficient as I can. And my herbs I grow. Okay. So, let that brown just a little bit. Now you can make these in any pan. It does not have to be cast iron. That is just my preference. And then before I add the mushrooms, I put a half a stick of butter in. And just cut it up a little wee bit. 2 cups of sliced mushrooms, cleaned, of course. And I like them, I don't like everything uniform when I'm eating it. I like messy food. If something's too pretty, it just, I don't know, it doesn't look appetizing to me. I like it messy and juicy and all that good stuff. Okay, let's let them simmer a little. The onions. You want to cook your mushrooms for at least, I don't know, I do like 4 or 5 minutes on medium heat. Trust me, this is so worth it. You'll love it. I know you will. You could just smell the garlic. Oh, and the onions. It just smells so good. I wish there was smell-o-vision. And if you try this, please come back and tell me what you thought. Would love to hear how you liked it. You press down on your mushrooms a little bit and they're still a little firm, they're not done yet. Unless you want them that way. If you want them firmer, then you can go ahead and start the creamy process. Okay, so now that the mushrooms are where I want them, I'm going to add a 10.5 ounce can of cream of mushroom soup. And I'm going to mix that around a little bit. Turn my heat down to medium. I had it a little high just to get them going. And then I start with a half a cup of milk. You can add some Worcestershire sauce to this. It gives it a nice taste. And then I add about a teaspoon of pepper and a teeny tiny bit of salt, because all canned food has got a lot of salt in it. Okay, now let that simmer. And it's about the right consistency with 1/2 cup of milk and the grease and the butter. It's about where I want it. Okay, so now what do? So a lot of people like Swiss on their burgers. I do not. He does. So his gets Swiss, mine doesn't. Kind of nestle them down in there. And get the cheese to melt. I hold a lid over it. I don't have a lid big enough from this cast iron pot. At this point you can turn off the heat and let it go for a little bit until the cheese is melted. Okay, we're good. Okay, now that it's done, you can prepare this 2 different ways. So I don't like buns, I like bread. So mine's sourdough bread, that's what I use. My husband prefers the buns. So I cut my bread in half, and then, so like I said, he likes the cheese. And his, see why I made his like I did, smaller, because his goes on a bun. And then mine will go on the bread. Then you take that goodness and you drip it all over. And then that drips all down there. Or you can leave it open faced too. I've done that before. So you put your sauce on. I press it down a little bit and I cut it in half. And you can see it's nicely done. And I just dip it in my sauce. And I do the same for him. So he can just dip it. And it's, oh, so good. So I will try it. Perfect. I hope you guys try this. Thank you for watching. There will be more cooking videos coming up soon. It's just the way I do things. I do things old school, how they did back in the 70s. I've never changed my style, and I refuse to. I like to do it my way. So if you're interested in more stuff like this, please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.